gonna invigorate your body. Hey guys, welcome to Table Talk. On this show, we take your topics from the Twitter using the hashtag Table Talk or from Reddit r/SourceFed. I'm Steve Zaragoza.
I'm McTurney.
My name is Joseph Daniel Beretta.
Good morning.
Hello. How are
What's
you?
your middle name?
Yeah. My middle name?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're not allowed to talk about that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
Because you said Joseph Daniel Beretta.
We just started a mystery about Steve. He can't talk about it. Let's start with a topic.
More like handsome.
Okay. All right. Let's go. How are you guys
Steve
doing
Handsome.
today?
Like somebody was like, "Hey Hitler," it was like more like handsome. Like that was one of the jokes he used.
We're gonna
Okay.
dig into
You
this
guys ready?
frosting.
Yeah,
here.
there's frosting near us, and I was like,
Yeah.
we should just have one of these during the show.
Gross.
Oh man, this is a lot
How to
actually.
be naked literally in a week.
I gotta be naked tonight.
Yeah. I'm naked every day, Meg. I don't know what your deal is. So,
Naked under this
Feel
table.
All Right said, how did you deal with your first heartbreak?
Oh.
Listen to a lot of Radiohead.
Did you really? Like just straight up? Were you did you go
I
emo
would,
out on Radiohead?
I totally emoed out. I was in my room. I locked the door, totally dark. I listened to OK Computer, like the whole
Did she
album.
break your heart, or did you break her heart, and then you felt the repercussions afterwards?
She broke my heart.
Yeah. How'd she do it?
By well, this is kind of like an extension of the one we were
from
talking about yesterday. But this girl, I was absolutely in love with, and it's my fault. It really is because I never told her how I felt about her.
Oh.
But she ended up like going for this like total tough guy, like strong, like douchebag. And I was just kind of like the pussy nerd dork, and I lost, and so I was very depressed about it.
You lost
really.
without ever playing the game, is what
But
you're
I mean, I
saying?
played the
That's
game.
how he lost. He
That-
didn't play the
I
game.
know, but the thing is like we were like inseparable. We were like very close. I was basically in the friend zone before the friend zone.
Oh, you were that guy in
existed.
every movie.
Pretty much. I was
Wow.
Ducky.
But
from
you didn't
Pretty in Pink.
triumph at the end.
I know.
They
I
never
didn't.
triumph in those movies.
Although I did get Sarah, and that, in my mind, should have never worked. I pretty much tricked her into marrying me.
He's actually a troll.
You gave her a life roofie? Is that what you
I
did?
sure did. She's in a constant state of like roofied.
She's in constant
But it's
vegetative
love.
state.
It's not
It
a,
is
it's not
love. Well, now it's just Stockholm syndrome. She's in
She's
love
stuck.
with
She
her.
keeps coming back. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Meg, how was your first
It
heartbreak?
wasn't my first like major heartbreak, but it's a better story. It was like I was down about a boy. I found out he was seeing somebody else at the same time, but it was like, and I think I was a freshman in high school, so it was like before really you're really seeing anyone anyway. But I had some Sheryl Crow. Turn to the left.
Who will say?
No, that is not Sheryl Crow.
That's so funny.
It was the track I definitely had on repeat was "Leaving Las Vegas."
That was your heartbreak song? Oh my god. I get knocked down, but I get up again.
God, I'm just so heartbroken. I feel like I'm leaving Las Vegas.
Wait, that movie's really sad. That's about a guy who kills himself.
man.
But
Oh, shit.
Spoiler.
sorry. But I remember my mom coming in after like I literally played the track probably 16 or 17 times. Mom was like, "Doing okay in here?"
I feel like you want to go to Las Vegas.
And like maybe
Yourself
leave.
to death.
You want to visit Las Vegas and then leave? My motherly instincts are kicking in. I'm sure you and your boyfriend are fine, though.
I'm pretty sure my mom mostly came in to be like, "You listening to my Sheryl Crow CD?" Like it was definitely her CD.
That reminds me of like one of my most pathetic moments. This wasn't quite a breakup moment, but it was one of my pathetic love moments. Was one of my girlfriends way back in the day. We dated for a long time, but the first time I said "I love you" to her, it wasn't reciprocated.
Oh.
And I like set it up. It was kind of a sweet night, and she didn't say it back, and I was just like crumbling on the inside. So after she fell asleep, I got out of bed, went to the computer, and just listened to Coldplay's Trouble for like 3 hours.
Oh,
By myself with her in the bed in the room. You just
Wait,
going,
how old were you?
I didn't mean to cause you trouble. I didn't. I said I love you. And then repeat. I didn't mean to cause you trouble.
You be my best
So that was that pathetic one. Yeah,
Because
that's
you were
good
old enough to have someone in the bed.
Yeah, it was college.
Oh wow, man! Like I said,
That was your
I
first
remember-
heartbreak?
No, it was my.
No, it was-
I
but it was a
mine-
good
and then,
story.
And then
Okay,
yeah.
all right.
No, I was gonna say one time in high school I said I love you to a boy, but I didn't mean it yet. I was just like, oh yeah, I love. Ooh, sorry. I had one of those moments of like,
Ooh.
I didn't mean to say that. I gotta go now.
Am.
Oh, that's that's an Elliot Morgan butt. I've never seen your butt, Elliot.
It's a nice hairy butt, Elliot Morgan.
I've seen other things.
Move on? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Were you
good.
not expecting to be called out on that? Or you
No,
thought
I
you were going
wasn't.
to get away
And
with
for some
it?
reason, I thought you guys were gonna be like, hey, this is a professional.
Yeah, you thought you
Very cool.
want some frosting? Dip your finger in.
Get in there. It's chocolate frosting. It's really
dip.
good.
Just a little dip and a
Get the
taste.
dip. All right, guys.
Darren, you want some of this? You want to taste? You want to taste this?
We're a little chocolate frosting. It's really good.
Feed you.
Oh my God, Darren went for it.
Oh my god, that's so much.
So much.
So much.
Okay, guys. At
Why don't you
Dr.
try
Who
some?
Done
Just
It.
try a little bit. Just a little. Just a taste.
No, I don't want any.
Just
I
a
don't
taste.
want any.
Just put
Just
your.
put it
Steve,
in
I
your
don't
mouth.
want any.
How about
I don't want any.
Joe,
I don't
just
want
the
any.
tip of your
I don't
Do
want
it,
any.
though. Just a
I
little
don't
bit.
want any, Steve.
Tip of your
I don't
tongue.
want any.
God damn it.
I just punch you in the face. I said no. Meg would like to read it.
Question?
now.
I have a query from a fan. At Dr. Who Done It says, do you think madness has a real definition, or is it a subjective idea? Think of the Joker when he's making perfect sense.
Madness, I suppose, would be the mindset of going against what is considered normal by society.
Right.
Right?
Absolutely.
So subjective would be it.
Right.
Right? On a
Well,
society
and
level.
madness is just everything turned upside down. So you're like the polar opposite of everything that is normal, like you were saying.
Yeah.
I took a course in college called Social Deviance.
Liar.
No, it's true. I will say I took the course as a freshman. It was a senior level course, but I took it as a freshman because I had a crush on the professor.
That's how that works?
Whatever, it was a great course. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly how my course load was planned out. That professor's hot, taking his class. But it was all
Class.
about deviant behavior, and we watched this thing. It's like based on a short story called The Lottery. Feeney from Boy Meets
My
World was in
favorite
it,
short story.
and it was we
Why do I
we had
know
to
that?
do. It's
Is it the
it's
one where
basically
people die or
yeah,
whatever?
yeah. Everybody, it's like the Hunger Games almost. Like everybody draws a piece of paper, then the person who gets the spot gets stoned to death. And so one girl, it's her mom, and she doesn't want to throw the stones. And then we had to write a paper on why she is the deviant one in the society and not the society itself. Because in that society, it's normal to stone people, and even though her behavior seems right to us, she's the mad one.
I feel like
Yeah,
the
because-
old guy in that story that's like, oh, we do this all the time. We will stone you. Stop whining about it.
In the film version we watched, like in the movie version, it's Feeney from Boy Meets World. Feeney,
Don't be whining. We stoned somebody every year.
Well, I guess that's a very interesting thing because you can think about how like it's all about the general consensus in the societal kind
Even
of
if it
ways.
seems crazy.
Yeah, it's like if everyone is thinking this one way and there's literally this one person that's like,
But that's a
I'm not gonna do this.
macrocosm as well. You can go
Yeah.
down to the microcosm of the situation. It could be in a family situation, the one family member that doesn't abide by the rules of the
Right,
household,
black
or
sheep.
even two people. Meg, I think you're freaking crazy.
Ah.
Fair.
She's mad, but that's just compared to me.
What do you think? babe?
Secrets revealed.
Gross. I like really chocolate drooled on myself.
I thought there was silence because I offended
I was
somebody,
doing a little,
but you guys just had
I
your
was doing
mouths full.
No, I was doing a tongue thing.
69 Mike Hunt. There's a little bit of chocolate on this, by the way.
See? Mad.
That was funny.
Guys, by the way, there's poop on this one, and I just tasted it. How do you feel about kids? All right, I really don't like that song. Is it Muse?
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of it. I like Muse though. Try this. Just try it. How do you feel about kids under 17 years of age playing M-rated games?
Oh,
In
that's
other
fun.
words, do you think that at a certain age people become mature, or is it the personality and characteristics of a person that determines their maturity? Ooh, this is some.
Can I jump in?
This is
Jump
tight.
in, you nerds.
This is tight.
Thank you. I definitely believe it's more about the personality than the person's age, but having worked at a GameStop for 3 years, I cannot tell you the number of friggin' times I had to explain to a shitty mother that was like buying GTA for her 6-year-old. I'm like, listen, literally this happened to me. Okay, I have to tell you that this is an M-rated game and then you have to read all the things why it's rated M on the back. You have to
Rape, you
read
can,
it,
like,
yeah.
kill,
Simulated violence, nudity,
No morals.
sexual
Yes.
situations. Yeah, and she literally, a mother goes, he just turned 8, so. And it wasn't a joke.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
not old enough for GTA.
I mean,
He's
but
just
here's
not.
the thing, like, my parents did their very best to kind of keep the evils of the world away from my brother and I, but you can't, like, you just
He
can't.
grew up in a bubble, like a literal, like he was a
I
bubble
totally
boy.
did grow up in a bubble, and my mom would like, you know what's funny? My mom and dad would show us movies like Terminator and Predator, but with Terminator, she would just cut out the sex scenes and leave in the blatant and
Violence.
terrible violence. And like the thing is like, I don't know. I don't think I was predisposed to being a very like violent person. So I
No.
think that kind of is part of my genetic makeup, and maybe it's a family thing, maybe it's a genetics thing. I don't know, but like I get a lot of shit because I'm. We need to talk about
Yeah,
this. We're gonna
talk
go
about
into
it.
a very like deep zone here, but I get a lot of shit from people because I'm not on Walt's side for Breaking Bad.
We're back to Breaking
Yeah, we've
Bad.
got to talk about it because it's like you do have that. There's that violent tendency, but I don't want it to be mistaken that the show's fantastic. Walter White.
It's your favorite show.
It's my favorite show ever.
Ever.
I'm just gonna say it. It's not even over yet, and it's my favorite show ever. So I love Bryan Cranston. He's an amazing actor. I love the Walter White character. I just, from a moralistic point of view, personally don't agree with the way that he's doing things. And I think it's because you do get this glorification of violence type scenario happening with Breaking Bad, but that's not the purpose of the show, and that's not even the intention of the creators. That's just the perception that the audience takes away from it. And I think that as far as violence goes in video games and for children and for kids, the way you're looking at it is very phallic, and it's starting to give me an erection.
Keep going.
Oh, keep going? Okay, so, and the thing is with kids playing video games that are very violent, it just makes me feel like I played violent video games as a kid, and as long as you have common sense, as long as you're ooh, whoops, and as long as you kind of like teach your children right and wrong, and you parent them, then I don't think there should be a problem.
And I don't even need to talk anymore because the point that I was going to roll into is, sure, that mother can let her 8-year-old son play it as long as she's educating him along the way.
Right,
Maybe
but
she
then
shouldn't, but as long as she isn't just letting him take that journey blindly by himself.
Oh. It was clearly the mom who was like, shut up, bitch. He's playing and he's going to cry if he doesn't get it, so you just sell me my game.
Well, she's the worst. But yeah, I think there is a certain level. I don't think 17 is what probably
No.
the level needs to be, but as long as the parents are there and keeping these kids with a level mind, I don't really give a crap.
I have to agree that I think it's most about parenting. I think the same thing goes for music, for movies, for television. It's all about how you parent, but I do think that you're not going to let your 4-year-old watch, someone get like gutted. You know what I mean? Like
orphans?
I mean, honestly, who cares?
oh my god.
Let's move on, shall we?
Hey, Lee, you want some more on this, baby?
Frosting, but Steve
So
scared
gross.
me.
So gross. Sam Sinnott at My Invisible Hat asks, if an actor dies, do you think the character they play should be killed off or replaced with another actor?
I don't like it when they
It's
replace them.
really hard for me when they replace it. For Spartacus, even when Andy Whitfield was still alive, he gave his blessing to have the part recast, and I was in love with him in that show, and I watched the prequel that they did while he was trying to get better, and I tried to give it a chance when it came back, and I do not like the guy they replaced him with.
What about Dumbledore?
Oh, snap!
I haven't watched all the Harry Potter movies, oh snap!
Oh, no, Harry Potter shit. I don't like.
Well,
there's
here-
sometimes
I
it's
mean,
necessary
yeah.
that Dumbledore needed to be recast so that the show could go on.
And that's a good point. And I feel like even the thing with
Spartacus,
Spartacus
he
is
needed
kind
to
of a
be-
different case.
Well, but he needed to be recast because he was the main character. The
I mean,
show
and
had
that's
to
the
end
thing. I
if
mean,
he couldn't be recast.
But I mean, they could have ended the show out of
Money,
respect
money,
for
money,
the
money.
person. But yeah, there's
Respect in the entertainment industry.
I know, right? I know, and that's the sad thing.
I know, we both went for the breast.
We're gonna
It's okay, Joe.
just a
No, it wasn't frosted.
Just tongue it, tongue the chocolate, tongue that brown.
Give it just a little bit.
Is there any actors that have been recast other than
Well,
that
no,
one
I
that
was
you can't stand?
the point I was gonna make was in my opinion, like you take something like The Dark Knight, and this is where you kind of I don't know. I feel like
yeah, that's Heath's character.
exactly. I mean,
Yeah.
Heath
Yeah.
Ledger in
But
Christopher
in a
Nolan's Batman world.
recreation, he can.
I mean, and that's the thing. We've had many Jokers. We've had
Many
many
Batmans.
Batmans, and I think that even when you find your quintessential Joker, which even for me is tough because I love Jack Nicholson's
Yeah, you
Joker
love that Jack
so
Nicholson.
much.
Got in my pocket. It's a hypothetical. You ready?
Yeah, I'm listening. Where is it?
Knowing how much you love Breaking Bad right now,
Oh no! Don't do this to me.
Jesse Pinkman, the actor, Aaron Paul, dies in season 3. Cancel Breaking Bad, or recast that character and write it out.
You know, I think that shows a special case because Jesse was meant to die in the first season.
I'm not talking about the character. I'm talking about Aaron Paul, the
Well, that's
actor.
what I'm saying. I mean, I feel like
Fine. Bryan Cranston.
Well, oh fuck.
Bryan Cranston.
I mean, here's the thing. With a show like Breaking Bad and with the people behind it and Vince Gilligan, you kind of have to trust it. I mean, if Vince Gilligan feels like the right thing to do is to stop the show, then you have to kind of like, I mean, you have to trust him.
God,
would
I'm
you
really
want-
glad you gave George Lucas that same leeway with all his decisions.
Oh, please! Like, George, hold on a
God.
second. Trust the creator. Hold on a second.
I really feel like you need to trust the creator.
Hold on a
because
second.
it's his choice,
George-
and you'll never bite his head off.
Wait, he could trust the creator but still have an opinion on what the creator
And not
does.
only that, I believe Vince Gilligan earned my respect. George Lucas made Jar Jar Binks.
He still earned your
But
respect.
he earned
And
your
then he
respect
made
at
a
4,
career-
5, and 6.
and
Don't
then he-
pretend
Yeah, but what
he
is your
doesn't
respect?
respect
Oh,
you.
yeah, but
Let's
wait.
move on.
What is your respect worth when you're a fucking 5-year-old? Seriously,
That's
if
not
you're
fair
If
to
you're
5-year-olds.
5 and you're watching Star Wars, you're like, I respect the man that created
and you
this.
still had that respect until you were a senior in high school and Jar Jar Binks.
I
was
wouldn't say a
created.
senior. I would
Yeah,
say
that's when Jar Jar was created. Was when you.
I
were
wasn't a senior.
You were junior.
Oh, I was way. We
You were young.
young.
You were
yeah.
old.
No, I was right around where you were, but I might have been a junior.
You were junior, senior, right around there. You're older than me, buddy.
It just got heavy. Guys,
eat the chocolate.
at Seska May says, funniest or most memorable thing your parents have ever said to you?
My dad it's like English is a second language for my dad.
Oh,
and
really?
yeah. Well, I mean, he grew up in Mexico. He lived there till he was a teenager. And then most of my childhood life, I have this very like thick accented dad, which is really fun because you get stuff like, Mijo, let's go to the zoo, or we'll go to SeaWorld and look at the dolphins.
The dolphins.
Yeah, which is amazing, and love my dad very much. But I mean, and in a Hispanic household, you get some of those like ridiculous like traditions. I don't even know if it's a tradition, but it's like anytime we got sick, my dad would be like, "Drink some 7, mijo. It'll make you feel better." And I'm like,
Oh,
what-
7 Up?
7 Up. Yeah,
Did
he
you
just
do
calls it
flat
7.
though? Because my
some
mom did
Drink
it
some
flat.
7, mijo. It'll make you
7.
feel. It's like, Dad, I've got like a stomach flu. Drink this 7. You'll feel better.
I'm gonna call that the 7.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think I'm gonna
Isn't
give
it
it a
badass?
7.
Yeah, my dad is a pimp, by the way. In Mexico, he was like running that town with his
Like a
brothers.
little-
Oh, the one town of Mexico.
Like you had a stable of
in
women.
the tiny town of Mexico, he did. Well, him and his brothers would like rule that town with like their swagger and their suave.
It sounds like they trafficked women.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you know, you do what you got to do to survive in the little city of Mexico. But no, I mean, the other thing is my dad would give us something called Alka 2, which I don't think there's ever been anything called Alka 2 in the world. It was just like an Alka-Seltzer cold and flu thing. And every once in a while when we get sick, he'd be, take some Alka 2, mijo. It'll make
Did
you
it
feel
say
better.
it on the package?
No,
Alka 2?
no, he just called it Alka 2 for some reason.
Weird.
Yeah.
That's really fun.
Weird. Do you have any funny stories from your parents?
Well, it's not like a thing they said to me once that was like this bestowed upon wisdom, but in my family, we're very sarcastic. We communicate through jokes and by teasing. Everything is like teasing and it's perceived meanness, but it's not. And so if in the vicinity of my family, if you fall down, if you get hurt, you do anything, before anyone asks you if you're okay, they're gonna say, how'd that feel? And anytime, but it's funny, and then they make sure you're okay. And I was like, how'd that feel? And now, even like if
You're
Penny,
embarrassing.
even if like a car has arrived on set, even if like Penny falls down the stairs or something, I always I always go, how'd that feel? Oh, you okay, bub?
So you
How does
lived
this feel?
You lived in the Roseanne family, it seems.
Yes, actually, Roseanne was like required watching.
There you go. It's a great show.
I have no stories.
No, you don't.
I really
yes,
cannot
you
think.
do.
I am blanking so hard. I've got nothing.
Really?
I've got none. I am very embarrassed by it. My dad is a very funny guy, but I cannot think of a specific.
Your dad said something
Oh.
that I cannot repeat at your bachelor party
Oh, really?
that I thought was amazing. And the fact that you were so candid with your dad was amazing to me. You and your dad seem to have like a very close relationship. But you were
close?
just straight up asking him like sexual questions.
Oh yeah, I'll probe my father for. I want to know everything about his past, his history. I want to know him. I want to know. I want to know the journey that it took for him to get to making me to where like I know myself a little bit better, I will ask him anything and everything.
And
a
he'll
little
tell
bit
you?
more, yeah, and a little bit more comes out every year, and it's fascinating. I'd love to read the book of my father. I think every kid should want to read the book of their
I
parents.
want to read the book of my dad because I feel like there's so much about him I don't know because there's such like a, not only is there like a culture gap, but there's also kind of like a personality gap because I'm such a nerd and he was such a cool guy.
Yeah.
Like it's basically, it's the opposite of Back to the Future.
Yeah.
Like if Marty was a super nerd and traveled back in time, his dad was the coolest guy in school, basically.
I get a lot of props on Table Talk because I talk about times that I almost die all the time. So I can't think of a funny thing that my dad told me, but I can think of a time that my dad almost died that's really cool. So I'll share this story real quick. He grew up in Canada, and they moved down to like northern Wisconsin when he was very young, and he was the type of family, it was his father and mother. Father was a World War II vet, and his sister and him, but they were very poor, and they just owned a motorcycle, so when they traveled, the whole family would find a seat on the motorcycle and just go and just ride on the motorcycle, which
Wait,
is cool.
4 people?
Yeah, 4 people.
Holy shit!
He like burned his leg on the motor a lot. And then they did finally get a car, and they were driving in like the backwoods of Wisconsin at some point. Like I don't know where they were trying to get to, but he said out of nowhere a big white truck started driving in front of them. So they pull up to this white truck, and it's massive. It's like a moving truck, and it's pulling in front of them, and it slows down, and then another car comes behind them, and they're driving. They're pinned in on this small road. All of a sudden, the freaking back of the truck opens up, and they put out like a ramp, and the car behind them starts trying to push their car up the ramp, like they were about to get abducted by this random place.
It was like human trafficking happening?
Yeah.
Taking shit.
Isn't that crazy?
That's insane.
It's nuts. And then I forgot how they got out of it. I think there ended up being a pull-off or some crap like that. They came to a clearing and got out of there. Isn't that
Oh
like
my
the most
God.
frightening story ever?
Like could you imagine being a father being like, holy shit.
Holy shit.
Yeah, and then like if it really was human trafficking going on, the people would like go after your family.
Or maybe
because
it was
it's
just like a party van.
just having fun.
That was how you won this week's, the clearing of the sweeps.
All right, guys. Well,
that's
that's
fun.
it for this week's Table Talk, or today's Table Talk. If you want to submit your topics for the bowl, go to Twitter and use the hashtag Table Talk with your topics. And also you can go to r/SourceFed, and there'll be a very clear Table Talk area to post your stuff there. I'm Steve Zaragoza.
I'm Joe Beretta.
Joe, have you ever been to the tiny town of Mexico?
Mexico? No, but I heard it's nice.
Taste the goddamn chocolate.
Joe, taste the chocolate!
Get in there.
Yeah,
The whole time, Jesus.
Yeah! Taste the fucking chocolate, Joe!
You should buy my poster.